What's up?
What's going
Well,
on?
not too much. Just finally know the teams that are playing in the Super Bowl, so that's cool. I didn't. I don't know. Obviously, wanted the Niners to win just because I'm not. We all know how we feel about the Eagles and their. Well,
Yeah,
it's weird because it's not even the team of the Eagles that I can't stand. It's just the fan base. I mean, I don't mind the team. The team's got some players that I actually kind of like, but the fan base just makes it absolutely unruly. I love how Always Sunny in Philadelphia depicts them perfectly, and they know it.
I know.
As for the AFC, I personally would have liked to have seen the Bengals won. I'm just a big Joe Burrow guy, but
Yeah,
obviously hold nothing against Patrick Mahomes, realizing that he is probably the most talented quarterback in the league. So I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be a good Super Bowl. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. I guess I've seen a lot of people say they don't care who wins, but also, I mean, I do because I just want to see anybody beat the Eagles because, the Eagles again. But I don't know. I wish Joe Burrow would have pulled it off. I personally do think the officials got in the way of that one just a little bit too much. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs won, and I think it's still going to make for a very entertaining Super Bowl.
yeah. No, I definitely want Kansas City to win this one. I mean, the Eagles. So it's kind of funny because growing up, my mom's half of the family or whatever, a lot of her family come from New Jersey and they're Eagles fans. So growing up, I was kind of like Eagles were kind of like my second team. I don't know. It's hard. It was like way outside this as a second team. But I always kind of liked them. But man, after 2000, actually, we played I don't remember what year this is, but we had a week or our first playoff game one year was against the Eagles. And I remember Brian Westbrook destroyed us in that game. And that was the first time I was like, all right, I'm not really liking these Eagles as much anymore. And then 2017, when our players went there or all our fans went there and they were throwing beer cans at us and stuff like that, then the hate started. And yeah, that was terrible. And what up, Justin? Yeah, I know. Fuck Philadelphia. Not about it. So I want Mahomes in Kansas City to win, but I'm worried. I'm a little worried that they're going to do that because even though Mahomes beat that Cincinnati team, Mahomes having to play in the Super Bowl with this ankle that
I mean, luckily he's got 2 weeks to try to get it back in order.
Get it a lot better. That's what I'm hoping for, because that's what kind of I like the matchups with Cincy versus Philly over Kansas City versus Philly. So that's the only thing that I'm worried about. And then San Francisco, that game obviously was messed up. Brock Purdy went out right away, and then what's his name? James Johnson?
Josh Johnson.
He comes in, he gets a concussion, he's out of the game. They have to bring
Purdy back in.
And I didn't know that at first that he had a concussion that Josh Johnson did. So I was like, what's going on here? But it was like they didn't have a choice but to have Purdy back in there.
Right. And honestly, Philadelphia didn't play that great. Like they got a lot of lucky bounces with the fumble and obviously not having to play a healthy Brock Purdy. So, and people were kind of saying, I can't remember who it was after. Was it Greg Olsen? Someone said that Hurts played phenomenal. It's like, I mean, from a running standpoint, sure, kind of, but also
from a running standpoint,
he was 15 of 22 for like 120 some yards or 130 some yards or something. So I don't know. I personally think the Eagles look beatable yesterday. If Purdy stays healthy, I think that's a completely different ballgame, obviously. And if the refs were consistent and overturned that terrible, like they have every angle at their disposal anytime they want. You stop that. Like, come on. It's
the catch you're talking about, right? You're talking about
when the receiver is even running back. Like, guys, we got to hurry up.
I can't believe the coaches. I don't know what the coaches get to see or how they're able to see if it's a catch or not, where they can throw in the challenge flag, or if they just look at the Jumbotron or whatever they do, because obviously when you looked at the Jumbotron, it showed the camera angle from one spot. And then we didn't even get the chance to see the other camera angle until after the next play. And it was like, oh, wait, he dropped it. It's like, man,
but New York has New York, the officiating office has every view of everything. So like, they should have been able to catch that one.
Right.
I'm just on a tear with NFL officiating this season because they suck
Yeah, it
so
sounds like a
bad.
lot of people are. Sounds like
Yeah.
a lot of people are.
If
And
I,
I
if
was
I was a if I was a quarterback or head coach who got screwed over by the refs, I would just bring a wad of thousands to my press conference, just set them down right on the podium and be like, this is the fine money for the NFL because I got some things that I want to talk about, and I just go off the rail.
Yeah, dude, I think a lot of people would be doing that for sure. So you wanted Cincy to win that game. I was pretty split in the middle. I do think that Cincy was the better matchup against Eagles next week, just
Right.
because of mostly because Mahomes' ankle, but plus, outside of Kelsey, man, he doesn't have a lot of help in that wide receiver court. So,
Right.
so that's like something that I'm worried about.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. What'd you think about all the officiating that happened in that game? Because that's a game that people are really talking about. What did you like there? What didn't you like?
The Eagles and Niners
No, the
or
Cincy
the
and Kansas
Cincy.
City.
Well, first off, the giving them another 3rd and 9. Like, yes, I understand the ref was running onto the field or whatever, but from the image I saw, it definitely looked like there was already like it was mid play, or at
Mhm.
least to a point where there could have been better indications they were going to stop the play. And then right after that, yes, it was a penalty. Eli Apple did grab a hold, but also I don't know. And I mean, and again, when you want to talk about consistency at the end of the game, Jones gives Burrow a little extra shove when he didn't need to. And the
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah,
and look,
yeah.
I'm not saying that the one on Mahomes wasn't a late hit out of bounds. I mean,
Definitely was.
ticky tacky, sort of. I think a
Yeah,
great
but
acting
you're
job.
gonna get called
Sucks
that
that
on
Asai
that
got
every
hurt
time.
during that play, but also if you're him, like you got to realize like this is Patrick freaking Mahomes. If you don't do that, they're not gonna, maybe they get it. They're not gonna have a chance to get up there. Like that'd have been a 60-yard field goal,
Right,
or at
right.
least longer 50s if they ran one more play. So it was just one of those moves, one of those mistakes you just can't make in that situation. So I mean, again, and you can't discredit that, but also it did feel like there was just a lot of penalties called against the Bengals, and I mean there was a fair share against the Chiefs as well, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
right. But I kind of like to look at these games and just kind of see. I mean, at some points it's obvious like what the Vikings need to do to get to that where they're playing in a game like that. And it's for the most part, it's pretty obvious. Offensive line, Cincy's offensive line looked like crap to start that game out. So that was a big thing you notice. And Mahomes stayed pretty clean the whole time. So the offensive line is obviously where the Vikings struggle. But one of the things that, I put it on Twitter, and again, I'm surprised I didn't get more hate from because everybody knows, or people that watch the show know I'm pretty neutral. Kirk Cousins, like when he's good, I'll tell him, or I'll say it. When he's bad, I'll point it out. And again,
yeah.
like even like listening to his what he said about why he decided to throw the ball to TJ on that play, whatever. But Burrow, I mean, I don't remember what the scenario was. I think it was it like late third quarter, early fourth? It was like 3rd and whatever. And Burrow chucks it up to a double covered.
4th and 6. It was
Was it
4th
fourth
and
and six?
6, and
And
he
chucked the ball up to a double
right,
covered
right.
Jamar Chase, and he just went up and get it. Like,
Yep,
and
yep,
I
yep,
put it
yep.
on Twitter. I said that's why you just throw the ball to your best playmaker and hope he comes down with it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know,
Which Kirk did amazing all year with that. It
right,
literally came down that one play where he just, I mean, who knows? He was pressured, but he still should have just threw it up towards Justin Jefferson's area. I mean, even the throw that he had, 4th and 18 to Justin Jefferson against the Bills, that was like an impossible scenario almost.
right.
Like, what's the chances he pulls that down? And he does. So we obviously know that it's possible to happen. Before moving on, though, I want to get this giveaway started for everybody that's in here. Do I have it up? Giveaway hashtag skol to get this Justin Jefferson rookie card right here. At the end of the show, we'll be giving this away. Hashtag skol in the comments. That's all you got to do to enter this thing.
But kind of going back to some of the other team, like what I saw yesterday is Philadelphia, where I don't think they played their best football. And obviously, again, going against 4th string quarterback, whatever. That defense though was just nasty. Up front, stopping the run, getting after Josh Johnson. Even when Reddick got after Purdy when hurt his elbow, like it's just
What's
that.
going on, Paul? Thanks for joining us again, man. We haven't seen you in a couple weeks. I don't think something like that.
But I don't know. It's just this team. It's so apparent that we need more of a bully offensive line, but also it's just so apparent that our defense just isn't even close at this point. unfortunately. Even the Bengals, Mahomes kind of, he had 300 some yards, no interceptions against them.
Yeah.
But that Bengals defense got after him, at many different points. So I don't know. It sucked. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, as we knew, there's a lot of work to be done on this defense.
Yeah,
but...
and we made the first right decision to move on from Donatello stuff. That's a good part. It's like, all right, at least we decided to do that. That'd have been a lot worse. Like right now, if Donatello was still on the coaching staff, because someone had to take. I mean, who knows? It might not have been all his fault or whatever, but there's something there with him. So it is good that we've moved on from him right away, and we can kind of see what's going on next. And that's why I think in free agency is going to be big, man. And seeing what we do with these vets, and see what we even have after that. Because I mean, a lot of these guys are getting older, especially on defense. But if once we lose them,
absolutely.
Yeah, crazy bet. Yeah. We have once we lose them, then we have even more holes to fill, even if we feel like it's time to start filling those holes. So it'll be interesting how we approach that. I was wondering, you got to fill the holes, man. It's the most important thing you can do as a football team. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, going back to a mature standpoint here, my fault. Yeah, for sure. And the defensive coordinator thing, it's taking a little longer than I was hoping it would, but also so basically it sounds like it's down to 3. It's down to Flores, Desai, and I think the thing with
Nielsen
is definitely
Atlanta.
like, if none of the other 2 work out, it's like, hey, at least we have this guy. So you can tell Pettin is their last choice.
I say Patine every time. Pettin.
Right. Like Flores, I think you can kind of tell Flores is above and away number 1.
Yeah.
But if he ends up going 2, which I see a comment from Paul rolling in here. Just 1 second, pop up. It's crazy how far behind StreamYard is that one right here. Waiting on the Cards to make a move. Exactly. If he doesn't go to Arizona, I think we'd probably end up offering the job to Desai. And then if he doesn't want it, then you move on to Pettin. But because I guess Desai, he interviewed like 3 teams, and the other 2 teams have already picked their coordinators. So
do you see that? It's crazy that Kellen Moore got fired or whatever, and he's already on the Chargers.
Him to get fired or something like that.
He's already on Chargers offensive.
Right. But I don't blame him as much as I blame just Dak Prescott for not being that great.
Well, that team still went. They're a good team this year. That's kind of crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's a McCarthy thing. Maybe not. I mean, they did have a good team, but they just choked, just like they've been all the time lately. Even though I kind of feel that. But no, I wanted to bring up too. So I mean, our thumbnail and everything is all about the Pro Bowl. Obviously, this year the Pro Bowl has definitely taken a hit.
Kellen Moore. Think about that. Kellen Moore with the Chargers.
Yeah, Kellen Moore with the Chargers, man.
That's huge.
I like that. With Justin. I like Justin Herbert. I feel like even though he kind of had a disappointing end of the season, I still like him. I still think he's going to be that guy. But yeah, back to the Pro Bowl. Obviously, this is the first year it's going to be flag football, I think. Even though, which is
skills challenges. And stuff.
Skills challenges, which they always have. I mean, the whole flag football thing's kind of whack, but honestly, at this point, I'd rather have them hopefully play a competitive game of flag football than whatever they have been doing the last couple of years. It just sucks that you can't just be full. I get why injuries, it's pointless injuries, but man, you wish you could just see the best players in the world just have a full go. Kind of like, I swear the last time that really happened was Adrian Peterson, when Adrian Peterson won Pro Bowl MVP. Like, it was actually like sick for him to win Pro Bowl MVP. Now, if you won Pro Bowl MVP, it literally means nothing.
Right. And it all changed when Tyler Eifert of the Bengals broke his ankle and never really was the same after that. Kind of unfortunate that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Vikings had, what was it, 5 Pro Bowlers? 7,
because Danielle Hunter is a Pro Bowler now.
So
was it? I think it was his rookie year.
Was it?
I think it was his rookie year.
But like, I believe it was. It's kind of crazy looking at the Pro Bowlers and kind of thinking, like, there's a chance 50% of them aren't here next year. I mean, Kirk obviously staying.
Is gone. I was kidding.
Right. I mean, Kirk will be here.
Whether you
JJ,
like it or not.
Obviously, hopefully.
JJ is going to be the richest wide receiver in the NFL, hopefully.
Right.
Probably the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. I don't know who do pass rushers get paid more than wide receivers?
I don't know for sure.
Me
Not
neither.
sure. Not sure.
Me neither.
Zadarius Smith, who knows with the way that season ended, depending on what we decide to do with the defense. At this point, it kind of feels like a 3, like we're sticking with 3-4, maybe, but I don't know.
We got to get a
Zadarius
defensive
Smith, who
coordinator
knows?
first.
TJ Hawkinson, definitely here. I kind of hope we extend him as well. Andrew DePaula, I know his contract is up. Long snapper, like
we can bring him back.
Right, but I mean, with a long snapper though, who really knows? You know,
right.
There's a chance they could decide to let him walk. Obviously, Delvin is in. Good chance he's not here next year. Who else do we have making?
I can see it, Paul. We paid the Kirk's original contract was $30 million a year, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Now we're gonna be paying a wide receiver that money.
Right.
Gotta keep Hawk. Yeah, Hawk's gotta be sticking around 100%
for sure,
dude.
I mean,
what
even
a
though
big
he had issues with the dropsies every now and then, like I don't know, the guy's fantastic. I would say
just
would you say easily
with Kirk Cousins?
Would you say
with Kirk Cousins
easily the third best tight end in the league?
All right, let's do it right now.
Obviously,
Top
Kelsey far and away number one.
Kelsey is easily number one. Number two,
I would say George with the little second half resurgence George Kittle had, man. It's tough not to put him out there.
Yeah,
I don't know about number two,
if I'd probably put him. I think I put Mark Andrews number two, maybe.
Yeah.
Especially with
it's because it's hard to because he got hurt right away, and then Lamar went out. Second tier, but how many are in that top tier though? That's kind of the question.
The top tier is Kelsey, Mark Andrews, and I would probably put Kittle in there.
I mean, before Purdy came in, I probably wouldn't have because Kittle was honestly just kind of okay, but he really did have a resurgence with
and otherwise we're talking like Waller, who dropped off big time.
He got hurt. He was hurt too, and that doesn't help.
I put Hawkinson 3 or so. I agree with Paul here. Probably number 3 or 4. He's definitely top 5 now, and just especially what we saw from Hawk since we've had him, and I don't think we've seen anything like I think he was a top 10 pick. I think next year we're going to see even more from Hawkinson, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're definitely talking about him as top 3. Potentially, I can't see him really beating out Kelsey, especially when your quarterback's Patrick Mahomes, but Hawkinson's good, man.
Pro Football Network, what was their ranking? They're
going to do us dirty. They're going to do us dirty.
Number 1, I mean, obviously, I think Travis Kelce. Number 2, Kittle. 3, Mark Andrews. 4. And this was hold up, stop. This article. Okay. What? 2020. So this was from a week ago, right? Dalton Miller. I don't know who you are, but I think you're
pull it up. Pull it up on the screen.
Sure. Yeah. Because this is absolutely this is ridiculous. Where does this guy get his ideas from? So, okay. Number 2, George Kittle, right?
Yeah.
Number 3, Mark Andrews. Fair. Number 4, though, Kyle Pitts. Potential wise, sure. How he actually played, I just don't know.
No. But no, definitely not how he played.
What the heck? Okay, whatever. Darren Waller. Okay. No. Dallas Goedert. No. Where 8?
They just do us dirty. We'll show them next year.
Okay, well, okay. Hawkinson has helped Justin Jefferson. That's compliment the best compliment. Yada yada. Having a high-end talent position to act as a gravitational pull underneath. Hawkinson has never quite rounded into a freak blocker we saw at Iowa, but the assignments. He's a boomer buzz on his blocking skills. This was written in 2021. This was written this year. Excuse me?
Yeah, that's messed up. That's messed up.
Idiot. I disagree.
He's going to be huge for us next year. That's why I don't know what I want going into this draft. I want to see what we do with free agency and stuff. But when you watch guys like T. Higgins and JJ together and Devontae Smith and AJ Brown.
But everybody's looking at a first round pick wide receiver. T. Higgins wasn't a first round pick wide receiver.
Yeah. He was a second rounder.
Yeah. So Devontae
Smith was first rounder. AJ Brown was also a second rounder. AJ Brown.
With a lot of
we don't even have a second rounder this year.
Right.
So but we moved back.
But after you trade away if you trade away some of these players and get as many picks as possible, you can at least move around.
And you also have to see who's out there for wide receiver this year. Because there could be, so far I haven't looked too much into this so far, but it does seem like there's kind of like a top 4 or something like that. And then a drop off after that.
Right.
And they're all over the place. I don't think there's a bona fide number one wide receiver this year. I think Addison, who is, I think, the wide receiver for USC, I believe he might be considered the number one. But
right. But here's my ideal free agency period, right? This is just me. I know people are going to disagree with it, but here's what I like. Re-sign Patrick Peterson and Duke Shelley to, if you can get them for relatively cheap, do it. Draft, still draft a corner, but I don't want to see a corner draft. I would rather skip the first round corner and take one a little later on. Just see what you have. Yeah, you still have Cam Dantzler, who's at least a solid number 3 corner. You still have Andrew Booth and Caleb Evans. So like right there, I lost count. How many? So you have Peterson, Duke Shelley, Cam Dantzler, the 2 young guys. So that's 5.
Yeah.
Plus maybe you draft one or sign a free agent or something. But I think you need to find a way to get after the quarterback or at least disrupt the pocket. So I would like to see some sort of like edge rusher, or as I've said before, like a disruptive defensive interior player. Like I was over at my friend's house, and I know you're not going to get a guy like this, but Jalen Carter from Georgia, watching him on the interior,
5.
right? He's going to be like top 3. But watching that guy on the interior is absolutely nuts. And I'm not, you're not going to find an athlete like that. You're probably not going to find that in this draft other than him. But like something like that, like
we do need one,
because on the interior of the defensive line, and this is assuming that you keep either Danielle Hunter or Zadarius Smith, one of the two, and hopefully you get another step from Wano and Patrick Jones. But like on the inside, Delvin Tomlinson, he's solid. Like he's still also a free agent. Who knows if he's gonna be back, which I think he should be. But like outside of that, like Harrison Phillips, solid against the run, but he doesn't really disrupt the pocket. Then you got the other guys. You got that Blacklock. You got Tonga, who's okay. You got, who else do we have in there? Bullard this last year. So I think you're really missing that disruptive force on the inside. We noticed it. Like they gave all their extra blockers to Hunter and Zadarius Smith, and we couldn't do it. We couldn't get after the quarterback. So I think we need to be able to disrupt the pocket or whatever,
See, I'm kind of on the same. I would be cool if there's a wide receiver there that we really like, and like throughout this off season, we kind of do a deeper dive into these players and stuff. So we'll have a better idea of who we actually like, especially at wide receiver and the positions we need, cornerback, edge rusher. We'll probably jump into all of that. But if I was, man, I really I know it's a luxury thing at this point for our offense, but man, if we had a good or legit wide receiver 2, or like T. Higgins, he's a wide receiver 1. I don't know who's playing wide receiver 2. Same as Devontae Smith. If we could figure something like that out, our offense would be so insane, especially with TJ Hawkinson on there now.
Which is why I think small tangent. Why I think Patrick Mahomes is the runaway MVP. Because like you look at what these other guys have that are up. Josh Allen, he is just too inconsistent this year. Justin Jefferson's not going to win it because he's a receiver. But like you look at, Hurts, Burrow, and Mahomes all had great seasons, right? But you look at Hurts, he's got 2 number 1s, solid offensive line, good run game, whatever. Burrow's got 2 number 1 receivers. He's got a solid number 3 receiver. He's got a good running back.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd's the number 2 wide receiver for pretty much any other team.
Exactly. And
an old first round pick in Hurst.
Hurst is definitely a serviceable tight end, so that's great. It's decent defensively. They got pieces as well. And then you got Mahomes, who has Travis Kelce, and then Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who played well yesterday, but inconsistent.
That was like the
Cole Hardman was hurt.
Games.
Pacheco, the Pacheco, McKinnon, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who hasn't played in a long time. That combo isn't the best, so I just think Patrick Mahomes has the least amount to work with and does the most with it, which he had over 5,000 yards and 40. Or what do you have? Do you have 41 touchdowns this year? Does that sound right?
I don't even know. I never even checked.
I want to say he did. Let me look.
I'll do this again, guys. Justin Jefferson giveaway.
41.
All we need is hashtag skol in the chat to have a chance at winning this giveaway. We got 1 entry now. Your odds are looking pretty damn good.
Jim, I like that wide receiver free agency and draft corner. Well, yeah, I think that'd be good as well. Because you can always find solid free agent wide receivers. Like, are there any?
Yeah, we'll have to see. There's a lot of running backs coming into this offseason. I know that for sure. Like a ton of really good running backs. Yeah, let's look at what is available for free agency,
especially tracker at wide receiver. Aguilar, Shepard, DJ Chark, Randall Cobb, Marvin Jones, Julio Jones, Byron Pringle, Alan Lazard. I mean, what if we brought in Alan Lazard?
I mean, I would do it just because it's funny, but
A solid number 2 wide receiver. Jacoby Myers.
I don't know if I
Juju
convinced that
Smith-Schuster.
Lazard's a wide receiver too.
But outside of that, AJ Green, Matthew Slater, N'Keal Harry.
Not much.
I mean, these aren't guys that you're going to bring in and be like, this is our number 2 wide receiver.
So my question is, if we have a chance for Jalen Ramsey, which has been rumored, I think you're the one who actually brought it up first. Would you make a trade for him? You don't do it.
Too much money. Too much money.
I think I'd do it because I don't know, man.
I just think it's too much money
personally. For a corner.
He's a little older. I don't know. I just think it's too much. I just don't think you have the. I don't know. I personally would say no, but that's just me. Vikings top needs to be linebacker.
I think I say yes.
I agree with this one a lot.
I would put defensive line, inside linebacker, cornerback.
I would say for sure
number 1, so that's good. Smith, yeah, Jim Sal. I agree with that. I do think depending on who's there, man. I don't know if there's a wide receiver in the first round that we really like. I think I'd like to take that. The cornerback thing, obviously we need those more. It depends on who's there. I'm really more of like the best player available for the positions of need. But cornerback, man, I'm just so sick of picking cornerbacks first round and second round. And, last year, I mean, not corner, but safety and Scene and Andrew Booth, and not seeing him work. Our best corners that we've picked in the last 4 years, when we have been picking them every single draft, have been our third rounders, and a Caleb Evans last year and Cam Dantzler the couple years before that.
Right.
So that's the only thing I'm sick of that.
But I'm looking here. Sterling Shepard, DJ Chark would be pumped if they brought them in. Personally, one of the two, because I think they both have a lot of talent. But again, are you going to want? I mean, Spot Rack estimates them at each about $10 million. Are you going to want to spend that? I don't know for sure.
Yeah. Back to the Jalen Ramsey, though. Anyone else in this chat, would you take Jalen Ramsey for a trade? Because I know the money thing, but you're talking about arguably the best corner in the league. But
that's the thing. How are you going to, what's it going to cost to get him?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a question. How much were you willing to give? Would you give just a first round? Would you give our first rounder this year?
No.
See, I would. What do you, see, for me, what am I going to get for a talent in the first round that's going to be anything close to a Jalen Ramsey? Nothing. That's what. You're not going to get a guy that's close to Jalen Ramsey, especially
I ain't doing it.
I do it.
First round pick for Jalen Ramsey? No. You can find a young defensive lineman and mold him into what you want to be, and he's going to be with you for the next who knows how long. 5 seasons on barely making any money.
How much is Jalen Ramsey?
5 years, $100 million contract.
5 years? No, how old is he?
Kofi's going to have a comment here, and he's a smart man, very smart man.
I definitely wouldn't. I do that. Unless you're worried about his personality.
Partially.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's see.
That's fair.
2023, his cap hit is $25 million.
Well, luckily we got some of the best in the game at research.
And I agree right here. If we sign Duke Shelley, we'll be fine with Dantzler or Evans on the other side, and that's even without Peterson. For sure. I agree with that 100%. Because
I'm not 100% with that, to be honest. Am I feeling 100% confident? All right, so this is not – I like Duke Shelley a lot. Do I feel 100% confident that he comes in next year and plays the same way he does? If there's one position that you see out of any other one where one guy does really well one season just to see him drop off dramatically the next, I think it's cornerback. And I'm not convinced that Duke Shelley's going to come in and be a cornerback one that we want him. I want him to be. That'd be awesome. But I haven't seen Duke Shelley, Dantzler, Evans, or Andrew Booth really step up to be a cornerback number one. I'm not convinced. It didn't work last year. That's what we hope this year.
Is that they develop into that.
Yeah, that's the
whole offseason.
Jalen Ramsey would be like an automatic. You got arguably the top number one cornerback in the league
for $25 million.
Well, $25 million.
We're trying to cut costs right now. We're not trying to bring in a guy with that much.
Well, if we cut all the vets that you want to get,
then we'll be even basically.
All right, we'll see. I don't know. I think I
get rid of all the vets and we bring him in. We'll be right back to basically no cap space,
except for a cornerback position would be massively improved.
Yeah, but I don't know. I personally
Yeah,
wouldn't.
we were like 31st against the pass. We need a solid cornerback. I don't know how you can like going into next season with the same exact spot that we are right now. Like, how much improvement do you want out of these guys?
Kofi, I like you. You're a smart man.
Throw to pass rush, stupid scheme. So you can imagine if you be. I hope so.
And that's
I'm hoping.
that's where I'm going to put all the blame right here is that we just didn't. This was like they said,
It could be. You
the
could be
scheme that
right.
we
It
had
could
was
be
all
right.
predicated on getting after the quarterback, and we
Yeah.
did not do that.
Yeah.
And even when we blitzed, I don't want to hear the blitz things. Even when we blitzed, we still didn't get to the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, the blitz thing was real though. We were not.
It was. Oh, it was. Yeah.
Blitzing
But
enough.
still, even when we blitzed, though, we still didn't necessarily get after him. I don't know. I
I'm
personally
hoping,
just think
dude. I like Duke Shelley a lot, but it's hard for a guy that's been around for a few years and jumping around practice squads, whatever. It is possible that he comes in, steps up, and he becomes that undersized cornerback too, and he becomes that guy for us, like for the next handful of years or whatever. Hopefully. Am I convinced? Am I telling you I 100% believe Duke Shelley is going to be that guy for us for years
absolutely
down the road? I hope so, but I'm not convinced. And our corners have been brutal the last couple of years, and it could be scheme. I mean, coming in this season, we're feeling a lot better having Patrick Peterson back. We needed that. We're hoping to see Cam Dantzler step up. He had his injury thing, and Caleb Evans looked really good. Duke Shelley was obviously a fantastic surprise.
I mean,
and then of course we
Duke
still
Shelley
got Booth.
Duke Shelley was very good. I mean, he was excellent in the red zone. He was good everywhere else.
Yeah, excellent. So I'm hoping he is, but I don't know. If we traded a first rounder for Jalen Ramsey, I would not sit there.
I want to ask this man right here.
Let's go, Rat.
Jalen Ramsey, yes or no?
For a first.
Listen to Rap.
Hit the like y'all button. Hit that like button. Y'all hit that like button.
Tell that to the Bills tight end, undersized or not, the Duke Shelley play. Yeah, exactly. Like that pass breakup he had against no, I guess Rap's gonna be on your side here.
See, would
you give up a first round pick for
a first round pick? Who are we going to get?
A $25 million cap hit?
We're talking about one of the best in the entire NFL at the position that most people think we need the most. I mean, like I said, I like Duke Shelley a lot, but I'm not convinced he's a wide or cornerback one for half of a season.
You'd give up 23 for him even, huh?
I'll give that up. Man. A first rounder? What are we going to get with Jalen Ramsey's skill set?
What if you don't go after a corner? What if you go after that young interior disruptive pass or lineman?
Any player. I think any player is not going to be – the chances that we pick someone that's going to even be close to Jalen Ramsey in the first round is so slim.
Music in the Misery, how's it going? Do you want Music in the Misery? He actually just answered the question. We don't want Ramsey.
That's the only thing about Ramsey that I'd worry about. It's the personality thing. But from a skills,
Devin Witherspoon would also be a solid pick, corner out of Illinois.
Yeah, Rap. You've been talking about Witherspoon. I want to check him out. I haven't got a chance to check him out yet.
And I agree with this too. A young guy that you can have on your roster for a long time. It's not going to cost you all the money.
We got tons of young guys on our roster that we're still hoping turn into something besides JJ. He was worth it. When did we pick JJ? Would JJ was pick 21 or 18?
But that's what you do with the draft, man. The draft is all about hope. You don't know anything.
But Ramsey gives you.
You could sign Jalen Ramsey. He could be getting out of his car. He could step on a rock and twist his ankle, and his career's over. And you're paying him $25 million.
that is a lot less likely than Duke Shelley being a top cornerback for the next handful of years.
Which is fair. I
hope so. I hope so. But I like Duke Shelley a lot. I really do like
Duke Shelley comes in. He's like your number 3 corner behind a Caleb Evans and Andrew Booth, hopefully. But Booth is the one we saw stuff from Evans, and that's the one thing. That's the thing I like. We saw a lot from Evans. Booth, if he can stay healthy, I think we'd see a lot more.
Right.
I think Booth he really missed out on a lot of development because he missed so much time.
And all the hype in the offseason, there was, even though we heard the same thing about Irv Smith, and then he kind of came in and wasn't very good.
Irv Smith was just,
which he's a free agent this year too, right?
Yeah, he's gone. Oh, he's traded back in the first round, get an extra pick in there. I'd be fine with that. I mean, it's tough. I mean, there's not a lot of room to trade back, but still, it could happen.
I mean, I don't know. I want the first round pick. It sucks that we don't have a second rounder. If there is, I would like to see a wide receiver in the second round, potentially, since there has been some really good wide receivers that's went there. So I mean, I would maybe do that if we were able to get a corner and a wide receiver. Last year, I really liked Pickens, and we'd ended up not getting him. Obviously, there's Christian Watson and George Pickens were second round picks last year. Ended up being pretty good. Sucks that Christian Watson ended up as good as he did because I didn't want him to be. He was kind of my bust pick. So
what do we got? I think Cam will trade back and get a second and third. My only thing is, what position will we address in free agency? That determines who we draft. That's very true.
That's everything.
Very true.
And who we don't re-sign and who we might
and let
cut.
go. Which
this is going to be a season where it just feels like we're going to be looking a lot other than offense. On defense, we're going to be looking a lot different.
And that's why it's almost tough. I mean, I know we've toyed with the idea of starting some mock drafts, but it's tough to do those until you see what we're left with. I mean, you can do them always like, oh, right now, if the season started today.
Right.
But then, I don't know. Then again, you only have after free agency starts, you only have a month.
I mean, if you're doing mock drafts right now, it's very, very mock draft.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably still do.
Oh, for sure. Fun to just because they're fun.
Yeah. Again, guys, Justin Jefferson rookie card right here. We're giving it away. Hashtag skol in the comments. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All that good stuff. Hashtag skol in the comments to enter this. We have just a couple in here so far, I believe. What do we got here? Three entries so far. Keep them coming.
Actually, this is an interesting point here. I definitely looked at who do we keep. Then look to draft free agency. We in our, I mean, music and misery. I don't know if you were there last Wednesday. We kind of went through some of our players and decided if we were gonna keep them or let them go. So we're actually gonna probably cut that up and post that video at some point this week. So keep an eye out for that. We did talk about that pretty much at length.
I mean, if I was gonna summarize it, it was Casey's definitely good with cutting Cook. I don't know how I feel about that. It does make sense. We're going to be paying him a lot of money because when you do see the cap savings of some of these players like him, Kendricks is a big one. It seems like, yeah, he was there. Let's go, Mark. It seems like Kendricks
he's the easiest to cut.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cap we save. Harrison Smith, he's a guy that it's going to be hard to get rid of him, I think, because we need some sort of presence in there. And I'm not convinced that we have the safety.
Freaking love this thing,
safeties in there. So we have to, that thing is really nice. So I think we decided Harrison Smith was someone like,
because look at, I mean, because right here, it's Danielle Hunter, like a 50-50 split, like, so if you could restructure this or if you could agree to a pay cut or something like that, I mean, that would.
Yeah, dude, Pacheco does look. I think we haven't even seen anything from him yet because we haven't even seen his speed really. I don't think.
Right.
And he ran like a 4.2 something, so I think he could be good. That is a good point though. I love Cook, but man, paying $14 million for a running back when you see like Pacheco, whatever his name is, 7th round pick, I believe. 7th round pick. Kenneth Walker, 3rd round pick. Jared Cook, 3rd round pick. A lot of these guys. Breece Hall was a 2nd round pick. So even Delvin Cook was a 2nd round pick. So you can kind of go get those guys. And we already have Ty Chandler, who we really like.
Players we could have had and lost, and it's painful. Yeah. I do that with the Wolves a lot too. Like Jamie, I'm sure you have as well. Like all the players that the Wolves could have drafted. Like
Giannis
Curry twice or Giannis or
Steph Curry is the biggest one. We picked
Rubio and
Flynn, Johnny Flynn twice before Steph Curry. But I heard Steph Curry didn't want to come here, so I know we should have just made him. Like, why do you get to choose where you want to go? Obviously, I get it. He's Steph Curry now, but still.
Right back then, you're just some random undersized guy that can shoot a basketball.
This year, the one that hurts this year is PFF's highest graded safety, and that was Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah,
and we could have picked him for sure.
Right.
And he was someone who I really wanted at that spot. I didn't even really think we needed a safety, but that's who I wanted. And then we traded back just to pick another safety. And who knows, Scene could be a beast. But obviously, we didn't get to see that because of his injury.
So here, there's a comment coming through that I want to talk about because it's tough. Let's see that from Greg here. Trade Cook and Kendrick for some picks. I think there's a market out there for Kendricks just because he's a good leadership. He's still a solid tackler and all that. But Cook, it's hard to trade an aging running back with $14 million cap hit. I think he's going to end up being just a cut candidate, just because you're basically splitting his what he's owed you. Save more than he's dead against your cap number.
It's just going to be, they're just so expensive. Like Cook, $14 million. Like we're sitting here, Cook with 1,000-yard season in a Pro Bowl, and he's just getting paid so much that even we're thinking like, how are we going to pay this guy much? I can't imagine another team doing it. The only guy I think we really get a trade for is Danielle Hunter. And I'm not for the Danielle Hunter trade. And personally, I would even say 3-4 or 4-3. I want to keep Danielle Hunter. I think that's a talent that you're not going to personally. I mean, he still had 10.5 sacks.
It's just tough. It is
right. Tough. You just can't. Those kind of guys don't grow on trees.
What you need, though, if you're going to keep him in a 3-4, is you need a defensive coordinator who's going to know how to help him.
Yeah.
And that, who knows, is that you just maybe put him as your other interior guy, which sucks. And he's going up against the guards sometimes. What do we got here? Kofi, cut Kendricks, cut Cook, restructure, extend Cousins, restructure Harrison Smith and Danielle Hunter, restructure Thielen if he's fine with it. If not, cut him, resign Delvin Tomlinson. I like that because you're going to be saving what? How much would you save from cutting? So if you cut Delvin, you save about almost 8.
How about Patrick Peterson?
9. So right there, you save like 16 mil just by cutting those two.
What do we think on Patrick Peterson?
If you can get Patrick Peterson,
he had a 2-year? He had 2 years this year, or was it 1 year?
It was one. I'm pretty sure
he's a free agent this year.
Oh, let's see. He's at the very bottom. Yeah, I don't think he's technically. I think you can just let him go. Yeah, if you let him go, you don't. It's nothing dead. Yeah. 750,000. So I think technically he's not on the roster. I think that's just kind of. I think that was kind of just part of spreading his money out, I believe. But yeah, but I mean, if you can bring him back for cheap, like a couple million, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good season. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually wants a little bit more money after the season, even though he ended not great against Giants.
I've always thought about how a GM and coach should have a team meeting and discuss contracts as a group, restructure everyone to team-friendly contracts that also pay everyone well. Yeah, I would not want to be a GM. Too hard. There's a lot of decisions you have to make. 4-3 players on the line. I agree for sure. Peterson keeps less money to help younger corners. I like that as well. Sign off for cheap. I also agree. I think if you could get him for anywhere from $2 to $4 million. I mean, obviously
$4 million. I'm keeping.
Or Peterson to safety is also very, because that's kind of what happens when corners get older and they get a little slower. They make that transition.
Did Anton Winfield?
Terrence Newman did it.
Yeah, Terrence Newman.
Season or two.
I don't think Winfield ever did it. Did he?
Did he?
I don't remember. I feel like he might have.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
But I don't know. Looking at those cap numbers is interesting, though. I like that little tool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, that's going to be, obviously, we still have a Super Bowl. It sucks when you lose, you're not in playoffs, and then now you're just kind of waiting for the season to end before you can really do anything other than the Donatel stuff, which was really nice that we figured that out right now.
It'll be nice if we could just get the hiring done, so at least then you can kind of start to sculpt what you want your team to look like.
Well, especially this year.
Right now, like Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, they could have all these ideas that they want, but without the coordinator who's going to be coaching that defense with his input, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you even do? And that's going to be everything this year. Our offense is going, other than maybe Cook, because we're 100% keeping CJ no matter what. Our offense is not going to look much different, but our defense is going to just be dramatically different in this. Yeah, you have to get a defensive coordinator in there, and then we have to see what we're going to do with all the vets. And then after that, you have all the free agency stuff. And then obviously, then you can kind of decide what you want to do on drafts.
Who agrees Eugene needs to go live more often? They lit. Hey, we appreciate that. We try. We're trying to go a little bit more.
Rap is just a workhorse, man. We can't keep up with them.
Right, for sure.
Speaking of that, Purple Pocket Podcast. Anybody in here, go visit his channel and subscribe. He makes fantastic stuff. He's always going. Him and Dave both. They're just grinders out there.
Rap will also be with us on Wednesday for the skol experience. He's taking place Dave,
so come up to that show as well. Wednesday, we're going to have Purple Pocket Podcast on our channel, going live with him. It would definitely be a good show. No question about that.
Right. Adam Thielen, cut or keep. I say keep. If he would take a pay cut, I'd say fine, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. How much will we save if you do my suggestion? Let's go back and look at that actually. Let's bring this bad boy back up here. Jamie, I expect you to do all this math in your head, so be ready for it
instantly.
So cut Kendricks, cut Cook. So right there, and we'll just round. We'll round up to 8 million, and we'll round 9.5.
So who are we thinking? Cut Kendrick and Cook. So we're talking about pre-June. So what?
Yeah,
You'll
well,
save
just a normal straight
eight,
up cut. So like, so
what is
basically
that?
like
16 million.
so 16 million, then restructure and extend Cousins. So is there? I think there was a
What
extension.
happens when
Let's say we extend Kirk and save $23 million on the cap, or restructure and we save 19 million.
not 2 million?
I don't know how this works, but we'll just mess around with it just for fun. So let's just go with restructure just because 20 million. So what did we have? We had 16,
so 36. So, and with the new contract, with the new the new salary cap is what, 224, 224 million.
224.8, I think it was. Yep,
And we're at 240 million. So we're under the cap now. So that's looking good. So now we have enough money to trade for Jalen Ramsey, and he can slip right into that spot.
Yeah. But anyway, so restructure Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith with Danielle, about 2.5 million. So that puts you at like what, 28.5, 29 million in savings.
Yeah. Here, I like do not restructure Smith, Cousins. Let him finish contract and see ya. I'm okay with that. If they extended him for 1 year and we got a young cornerback or a young quarterback, I feel better about that. But the one thing I don't want is to extend Kirk Cousins and not get a young quarterback or have any plan to get a young quarterback.
I'm personally like, I know a lot of people don't love it because you have to give up draft picks for it, but I'm team Trey Lance. Like, bring him in. Why not? I mean, yeah, you'll need to pay him in a year or two, but
it's kind of a sketchy. Like, obviously, he could just be injury prone for his entire career. But I'll take that chance. I'm going to take a chance.
He's had one injury.
Well, he was injured the first year, right?
No, Jimmy Garoppolo was just good.
He was just benched the whole time. I thought he had a couple injuries. Maybe not. Maybe he does only have this one injury. Ben rumors. I think Rap likes that. Been rumors of Zach Wilson. I'm not about that. I think I would take a chance on Zach Wilson for the right price. Only because, I mean, second overall pick, obviously he has some maturing to do and stuff. It's just, man, I just want that franchise quarterback. I want it.
Yeah.
We need it. Somehow. I'll take a chance.
Madison.
I'll take some chances.
I would say keep Madison if, I don't know, it's weird because like, obviously I think this team wants to see what they have in Ty Chandler. And knowing Madison, I mean, if he's smart, which he is,
he should go get some money.
They're definitely, or they'd definitely be like, so what's the deal? I mean, is he going to be splitting time with these other guys, or is he going to be the main guy? What's it going to be like? What's his snap share? Because he's going to want to be able to get as much money, as much playing time as possible. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I'll be fine with extending Kirk for a year or two and drafting a successor next season. I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
See, could be a break up for him being a lead back. He'll definitely be a lead back somewhere, and I think he'll definitely.
And that's the thing is he's going to want to get paid. Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable paying.
And I agree with this. He's leaving for running back one.
Money for some reason. I like Madison,
but I think they want to see what they have in Ty Chandler.
Yeah, I feel I really like Ty Chandler. I feel like we could move on from Madison.
Yeah,
even though I do have
one injury.
Actually, I'm going to bring it. I'm not going to give it away on this show, but one of these shows here.
Lance has one injury so far, multiple injuries to Jimmy G. Yeah. I don't know. I like Trey Lance. I think there's a ton of potential with Trey Lance.
So one of these times I want to give this away. It would be nice if I gave this away before, if he like was a Viking, but this is a PSA 10 Alexander Madison rookie card. Eventually, that's something I've been saving to give away, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I think the Trey Lance thing is really interesting though, just because I don't know. I think it's a really interesting decision to make. I mean, the 49ers are lucky that Purdy has played so well, but also is the fact that they're so, I don't know, is the fact that they want to get rid of Lance for just a third round pick, does that show that they don't think he's that good? I don't know. It's interesting. Is it,
wait, did someone say that they will do that? Third round?
Yeah, there's a report out there last week that it might not cost more than a third to get him.
I don't think so. Now with Brock Purdy being out for 6 months too, like what's going to change now?
Did they say what the injury was? Was it a UCL thing?
Yeah, whatever UCL. I don't even know what that was. You don't see that a lot.
No, you see because the UCL, they say that's the ligament that Tommy John surgery is for baseball pitchers.
Okay.
They get a lot more of that sling when they throw.
Yeah, so you have to respect that the kid came back out to finish that game for them. But I think Lance will go more, especially 6 months. 6 months, that's a long time. That's going into training camp and everything, right? I mean, even into not quite the season, right into training camp.
Training camp time. Yeah, tennis baseball injury. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good. How about trading Cousins for Lamar Jackson? I don't like Lamar Jackson. I think he's fantastic when it comes to scrambling and creating plays, but the injuries, the fact that he's not a good thrower of the football in the pocket, I don't know. I'm not a Lamar Jackson guy personally.
Yeah.
But that's just
I
me.
like
No to Trey Lance.
Lamar Jackson a lot,
And that,
but I don't think I really want a first, especially when you have Justin Jefferson. That's the main thing actually for me is when you have Justin Jefferson. I think I want a passing quarterback first instead of like a rushing quarterback. I think Lamar won't be able to take advantage of Justin Jefferson's skill set, even as much as Kirk. Though I really want a quarterback that has some sort of athleticism,
I would
some
say
sort of getting out of the pocket and
a
making
better
plays
Daniel
with his
Jones.
legs. Way better Daniel Jones.
Well, I want a better Daniel Jones.
I want more. I want it all.
Right,
I want Mahomes. I want Joe Burrow. I want Justin Herbert.
You got to find the middle ground is a better Daniel Jones, in my opinion.
I would take that.
And this is the one issue with Trey Lance is like you do only get 2 more years, and one of those is the 5th-year option, right? No, he's going into his 3rd season. So yeah, you'd have the 3rd year, 4th year, plus the 5th-year option. So you bring him in this year, he's not going to start. He's hit by Kirk Cousins, and so basically you have 1 season and then a 5th-year option, which is going to cost a lot of money considering he's a number 3 overall pick.
Right.
And that is unfortunate. So yeah, I do think. But the thing is though, it's like, are you going to be in position to get that guy? I don't know.
I'm hoping so. I really
Josh
like.
Allen is
I wish we would do
but Josh Allen
for...
still technically has like that elite tier status, I guess.
Oh, he does. So he's saying that it's hard for us to wish for a guy like Josh Allen, is what Casey's saying, right?
Yeah.
Like you're asking for someone who's elite.
You're asking for too much.
But Daniel Jones is like a little bit a better Daniel Jones. It's like, all right, you're kind of being fair,
but just because, and I mean better as like a quarterback because he's got the scrambling ability, he can run.
Right.
But he's not terrible.
I think Daniel Jones is a poor man Josh Allen.
Yes, pretty much. I would agree. But I think you're looking for that step in the middle. I mean, obviously you're looking for Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow. But odds are you're probably going to get something a little bit.
Let's start with. Let's have like a bottom out like in between.
Love Baker Mayfield. Don't want him on this team.
Definitely.
I love his attitude because you have to have that attitude, especially the career path he's taken. But
yeah,
I just think it's at the point now where I think and every time he gets a starting job, I always like, oh, please be good, just because I want to see him shut up the haters. But I mean, I think he's gonna have a very solid career as a backup. Probably get some starting jobs somewhere. But I personally just I don't know. I'm fine with seeing him not here at this point because I just think you want to get that younger guy and kind of sculpt him. No more of this stopgap free agent.
Wednesday will be insane. Justin, are you talking about the show? If so, let us know if you're hopping on or not. Let us know. Justin. Yeah, actually, might as well do that. Also, Purple and Gold for Days. This is Justin. We work with him as well. You guys should go check out his channel, Purple and Gold for Days, and subscribe to that. He might be joining us Wednesday as well with Rap. So definitely go do that. Bring him in for a low as a number 2.
Yeah.
See, I want to groom. You guys feel like we can groom? Like no one's going to be, Kirk's not going to be mad if we try to pick a young quarterback to groom. He can't be. He's not. He's won one playoff game in his entire career. He's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not a Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers thing to me. Like, I think if you're like, I don't care. Like, you won one playoff. I'm not going to care that you're mad if we picked a younger quarterback. Psh,
it's your best chance to win right now.
Win what? A one playoff game? Oh. I'm trying to win a Super Bowl out here, guys.
If the 49ers found Purdy in the 7th round, we can find a quarterback in any round. Quarterbacks like Slovis from BYU, transfer from Pittsburgh, will be good to sit and learn from for 2 to 3 years. Fair, but also I don't think you shouldn't bank on finding you shouldn't bank on finding a Mahomes, a Burrow, or a Josh Allen, and you also shouldn't bank on finding a Brock Purdy or a Tom Brady. It doesn't happen too often.
Well, especially Brock Purdy. Honestly, yeah. I would bank more on.
We're not even talking about Justin Herbert at all in this. Justin Herbert's going to be a top tier quarterback.
Yeah, Josh Allen. But I want to say this: your better odds is to go after a guy like Mahomes, Josh. Like you're talking about top 10 picks in the draft instead of hoping that you hit a Russell Wilson in the 3rd, Tom Brady 4th, correct, or 6th. Fuck, I should probably know that. 7th round on Brock Purdy, because we already did that with Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond was our first pick in the top 3 rounds in like 10 years or something like that. And he did not work out at all.
This one's good. How about a blockbuster trade for Joe Burrow? I mean, it would only cost us Kirk Cousins and our number 1 overall pick for the next 20
Kirk
years.
Cousins, Justin Jefferson. Somehow, if we could just get Justin, if we could just bring the LSU over here. I always think of that.
I mean, didn't Purdy kind of revitalized Iowa State's football program, didn't he? Because I know for a while they were not good. When one of my friends graduated from there, and he said they were not good at football when he was there. So I think Purdy kind of revitalized that football program.
Yeah, I could see that.
And Kenny Nwangwu.
Well, what was Mahomes? He was top 15.
He was 15. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, like, I mean, if you want to go get yourself an elite quarterback, it's probably your best odds are going up into the front of the draft. Trevor Lawrence, first overall pick. Next, that's why this year, who knows? I don't even know who I'm thinking for sure. But Bryce Young, you got Stroud,
you got Levis from
Kentucky? Richard, or what's his name from Miami or Gators?
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to go higher than he's not even going to be there around our pick. But I know people feel, up and down about him because he's another guy that he has all the talent in the world like Malik Willis, but you kind of have to wait on him.
Stetson Bennett, man. What an interesting character. 25 years old.
I don't know how I feel about him.
2 national titles. Then he goes and gets a drunk and disorderly. It's like, all right, Stetson. All right.
Yeah. Stetson does kind of have that like secret swag to him, but there's something about the way he looks where I'm just like, I don't know, man. He just doesn't have that look to me, but you never know. That doesn't even make any sense. So even though I swear it does.
Drafting a corner or D lineman, I would agree. I would lean D lineman just because I think we really, really need an impact player on the defensive line, personally. And I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that.
Well, we'll see when we kind of dive into the draft stuff more. We'll kind of see if there's someone around there that we really like. Manziel 2.0
just without the Manziel swag.
Yeah, he doesn't like Manziel had crazy swag. Where with Stenson, it kind of just feels like he wants to have that swag.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I agree. I just think it's funny that him and was it McConkey? Like they both look like just a bunch of nerds.
But you never know. Maybe he just
they were like top, and they were like the 2 playmakers in that national title game.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what this team does, and I think it all starts. The chips will start to fall when that defensive coordinator finally gets hired, and they kind of start looking at decisions of what they're going to do there, and then make.
Obviously, we still have a couple weeks until the Super Bowl, so we can really start moving around or moving towards those areas.
For sure.
But yeah, almost going for an hour. Let's do this giveaway again.
We'll give it another minute.
Couple of minutes here. Justin Jefferson rookie card giveaway. All you got to do is hashtag skol in the comments. Very easy. Hashtag skol in the comments to win this. We'll wait a couple minutes.
John Michael Schmidt, or no, where was it? Sorry, I missed it. John Michael Schmidt. Yeah, he could be good. I think he could be a good mid round guy. He could grab. He played. I mean, obviously the Gophers have had a history of really good offensive line play, so that's cool. Calling it they'll hire a DC soon or announce a DC soon. I really hope so. I think again the chips will start to fall after the Flores situation is all decided here. What are they waiting for to hire a D coordinator? I think it's just that it's just the because Flores is still up for the Arizona head coaching job.
Yeah.
So if he gets that, obviously he's not going to take a DC job. Then we move on to Desai, I think, and then worst case scenario, you get Patton, who's done it before and he's had some success. Thank you guys. Tossing hashtag skol in the comments. Appreciate it. Quasi a chance to make himself a star GM or not? Yeah, he does. He really does. Like this is a big offseason for that.
Yeah. So. Especially I wasn't super impressed with his draft. I like kind of how he drafted, other than we should have got more for dropping back to the last pick with the Lions. No question about it. But obviously there's a lot of injuries. It wasn't all his fault. We found a nice sleepers. But if I was going to grade that draft right now, I'd probably give it a C-, in my opinion.
Inconclusive.
Inconclusive is fair. I mean, Ed Ingram started pretty much the entire season, or did he start the entire season? Yeah. So that's pretty good for a second round guard for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's run this. Let's go. Always lose track. Okay. Boom. Let's go. It's getting close. Oh, Justin, let's go. Purple and gold for days. He has a 95% chance of being on our show this Wednesday with Rap. No, I'll probably actually do another giveaway on that show, so you should all join. Justin, obviously, we'll hit you up in our group chat or whatever and figure out where you want me to send this card. But yeah, once again, this Wednesday, 95% chance Justin from Purple and Gold for Days will be there. Rap will 100% be there. It'll be a good time. I'm going to bring another giveaway. So everybody should come check it out.
Rolling through the last few comments we got. KJ Osborne is still in a contract for one more season here. Draft was a D given number of players that played. True. That's why that's why I'd rather just call it inconclusive. Justin cheated. His name is too long. Osborne stays reliable for the most part. I think KJ Osborne's a really good wide receiver 3, but I think he'll flourish more with a better wide receiver 2. Congrats, Purple and Gold. Very nice view. I'm live tomorrow.
Yeah,
make sure to go check him out tomorrow.
No, check him out. Subscribe. Go check him out. We'll definitely
toss it in. He's tossing it in the comments. We'll pop it up here. 6:30 p.m. Central Time, I assume. We have people from different time
probably Central Time.
I would assume he's a Minnesota guy, smart. So Central Time for sure. So, but yeah, everybody make sure to hop into that. Make sure to join us on Wednesday with Rap, Purple Pocket Podcast,
and 95% Purple
and 95% Purple and Gold for Days with Justin and Central Time. Yep. Hey now, hello. But yeah, anything else, Jamie, before we sign off here?
No, I think that's it, guys.
Yeah, just smash the subscribe button, hit like, share our channel with a friend. We're at like 651 subscribers, and we're like 3130 watch hours. So we need to get 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys have a great way to help us out with that, that'd be fantastic, and we'd really appreciate it. Share, like, tell your friends. Well, eventually too, we might be making some t-shirts. Maybe we'll give a couple of those away.
Yeah. And I already told the Music and Misery, Mark, that, some of you guys, if you guys want to pop on here when we're doing these shows, we'll send a link to you and you guys can jump right in or whatever. Give you guys that option for sure. We definitely want to see what your guys' takes are in person. So, well, kind of in person, whatever you want to call it these days. But
we'll definitely have to plan that at some other point. But as for tonight, thanks for joining. And Skol Vikes. We'll see you guys next time.
Skol Vikes.
Oh, Music and Miseries. Let him know when, and he'll do it. Cool. Yeah, maybe if you're around Wednesday, we could add a 5th person for a bit. We'll see. Or next week, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, sounds good.
Y'all definitely need to do one more from Kofi. Sorry, just trying to get through these last few comments. Definitely do that after games. We were thinking about that, doing some sort of like a fan line, vent line type.
Oh yeah. Cool. We're still trying to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah,
we're still trying to figure this whole thing out, but we want to do that, and we definitely will, man. I want everybody to get their chance to pop on here, whatever, and even better, hopefully for some of you guys, you'll even make your own.
Yeah,
and that would be cool too.
Yeah,
I know. I think Kofi said not Kofi, but the Music of Misery said he has had a podcast or something like that before.
Yeah,
so I know he has all the stuff for it.
You get on here, you talk sports. People disagree with you. People agree with you. You get in arguments, and it's good.
Yeah, that's the whole
thing.
It's
all fun.
That's why we love it. That's why you're all here. That's why we love sports.
But it's all in good nature.
Yeah,
don't be one of those people that's got to be an asshole because people are like that.
Even though it's still fun sometimes.
That could be true. Presumptuous and Rude. That's the name of your podcast. Nice. And it's up somewhere. Perfect. But anyway,
subscribe to Presumptuous and Rude while you're out there. We're going to go do that right away. But all right, let's end this thing.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, everybody. See you next time.